Hello, everyone, and welcome to Brian's Action Figure Reviews. Today we've got another pop culture interview for today, and today we've got writer, director, and leader of film production company Celtic Badger Media, Paddy Murphy, who is going to be joining us momentarily, and he will talk about the company's latest upcoming release, The Perished. He's going to talk about a lot more other stuff anyway, so I'm not going to say too much more about it. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy. Here's Paddy Murphy along with myself.
Hello, everyone. I'm here with Paddy Murphy, director, writer, and lead badger at Celtic Badger Media. Say hi to the folks, Paddy.
Hi, everybody.
Just like to thank Paddy for coming on the show. It's great that we've got so many different types of people coming on here now. Such a short time, like.
I'm watching the last couple of episodes, and it's been great to see. Yeah, like you have a little degenerate like Tubbs, and then you have a Twitch streamer who had the amazing beard, and yeah, it's been really cool.
So what I usually do is at the start is I'm going to let you have the floor, and you can tell everyone about yourself and what you do and what you don't do, I suppose.
I don't know if there's anything I don't do anymore. Cool. Yeah, I'm Paddy Murphy, as Brian said. I'm a filmmaker predominantly at the moment, writer, director. I've worked on probably over 20 short films, 3 feature films, co-founded a company called Celtic Badger Media, which Brian has been involved with. Tubbs, who's been on the show, has been involved with. Barry Fahey's the other co-founder. I'm sure Brian's going to have Barry on the show at some point. And yeah, we just go out and make movies together because we have nothing better to do and because we really want to tell cool stories. Before that, I was a musician first. And then I became a video game developer for a couple of years, from 2009 to 2012. And then, yeah, when I moved abroad for a year, came back to Ireland and started writing stories, which I then turned into films. And so that's led us to where we are right now with my latest film, just releasing in the US, and it's called The Perished, and it's a spooky horror film, and Brian's in the trailer.
And we'll have that trailer linked in the description below anyway for anyone who wants to watch it and see it and stuff. So talking there about the game stuff, you did a game there about, was it 3, maybe 4 years ago that I was in?
Yeah. I got commissioned by a company in the UK to do a little narrative adventure game for mobile called Egomaniac, based on a friend of mine's film. And I had not developed, like, when I had worked as a video game developer, I'd never actually done like the programming side of it. I was like game design. So it was a challenge to have 6 months to put together a whole game. But yeah, it was kind of cool to go through it, and it was cool to have like you and Tubbs and Courtney and Barry, friends of mine, appear in the game. It wasn't fun having to go in and like stylize each of you individually and cut you out and all the rest of it.
Were we not stylish enough?
I had to give you that cell shaded look, you know. No, yeah, I mean, as one thing I forgot to mention in the opening of this is that I'm an absolute nerd as well, like, and I've no qualms about that. Always have been, always will be. Love comic books, love movies, love video games are probably my first love. And yeah, I loved action figures, but there'll be a story about that, a heartbreaking, tragic story.
So yeah, so it's a nice segue there, by the way.
Thank you.
So your favorite toy or action figure growing up as a kid?
I think my personal favorite, if I had to pick one, was you put them up recently, the Manta Force collection.
Oh,
There was the Bog Rocket. I have never been as happy again in my life as when I got the Bog Rocket for Christmas. I just remember all my friends coming around and being like, "Oh my God, you got the Bog Rocket!" Like freaking out. And I played with it until it just collapsed into pieces. Like it doesn't exist anymore. Like because back then.
That was the red one, wasn't it?
No, it was purple. It was a big
purple.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, I had the other one as well. It was like a black manta ray shaped ship. But the Bog Rocket had my heart. And then, but there was a lot of other toys figures in it that I loved growing up. Like, I mean, I loved all the old Aliens figures because there was a cancelled Aliens TV show. I believe, like cartoon.
Yeah.
And they had done this whole toy line for it. And it was amazing. Like there was a queen, there was just all these weird designs that we never got to see. But yeah, I love the alien stuff. I was a huge Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan. I think everyone in Ireland that grew up in that era. I actually had a fight with one of my friends and we fell out because he smashed my Michelangelo.
He deserves it.
I know, but as a kid, Michelangelo's always my favorite. Then as you get older, you're like, oh no, it's Raphael, definitely. Yeah. But and I loved. I said it to you the last night when we were playing Star Wars Battlefront 2 that myself and my friend Barry Tracy, between the two of us, collected the entire Ewoks village. Because we were those kids that actually liked like Caravan of Courage and stuff like. So we had like all the treetops, and we'd play with that for hours.
He's gone, lads. He's gone.
And someone had to
I enjoyed the Ewoks too.
Yeah. Like as I got older, I got a lot more into collectibles, and I got into especially video game collectibles. I was one of the first people that I knew of around Limerick that was buying like the Resident Evil action figures, importing them in. I think. I don't know who made it, but I had a Nemesis. It was a 12-inch statue. It was huge. And I loved it more than life itself. I think I paid £96 for it at the time. And then, yeah, like it was a vinyl. It was really nice. And then I was working in GameStop around 2006 at Christmas, and I had Nemesis in, and I put him behind the counter with a little Santa hat on because I thought it was really funny. Opened one of the drawers, and he fell off, and his arm broke off. And I was like, oh, I'll glue it back together at some point, and I put him away somewhere, and then we moved like 6 times, and he's gone, lost forever.
Oh, no.
I went and looked up the same figure again, like the same statue again on eBay, and it's like 590 quid now or something that people are. Yeah, so, but I had Christian, Jill, and Leon, and Ada, and Sherry, and Claire, and all the original line of figures. I had all the Onimusha figures. That was one I was super proud of.
I've never actually seen those.
They're so cool. I think my nephews might still have them. If they do, I'll try and get you photos of them.
Yeah, Japanese Brendan Fraser.
They were so cool, man. I had the lead dude from Onimusha 1, I had Nobunaga, and I had the lead dude from Onimusha 2. It was, yeah, as I say, video game collectibles were definitely a big thing for me. I had lots of Final Fantasy, lots of Zelda. And then tragically, around 2013, me and my wife moved to Malta. It wasn't tragic at the time. It was nice to move to Malta. But what happened was there was nowhere there was no storage allowance for me anywhere, and I couldn't afford to hire like a storage unit. So it basically came down to we were planning on moving for life, basically. So sold a lot of my physical goods, DVDs, Blu-rays, figures, old games consoles, old games, and it was probably the most heartbreaking experience of my entire life. And I think I've never recovered from it, so I haven't really gone back into collecting physical stuff again because it's that fear. Because my wife wanted to move back from Malta after a year, which was fair enough because I was working and stuff, and she was stuck at home with the kid all day. So, but at the same time, I was like, "Oh, my figures gone." But I do. I do build it back up. Yeah, sorry.
It's like that horror story of like someone's parents throwing out their figures or giving them away for free.
Yeah, I will say that my mum. Oh no, it's not up there anymore. My mum did find she found my old Raphael recently, so I've that. I have one Raphael figure. And back here up on the mantelpiece, I don't know if it can be seen, but I have the Pale Man. Barry got me that for Christmas, so because he knows how much I love. It's a pop, yeah.
That should be melted down. Sorry.
I remember when you had so many pops.
I know. I saw the light.
Man, I want to get that Nemesis pop so badly. I'm sorry, I'm not even a pop guy, but that Nemesis pop is so good. But yeah, I love action figures. I love collectibles. I love toys. I just, as I say, haven't recovered from the trauma of having to sell them all.
I usually ask as well, what was your prized possession? But I think you quite covered that with the Nemesis thing.
Oh yeah, that was definitely, yeah. I mean, for collectibles, for toys like figurines, definitely. I did feel I had a Revoltech selection of Revoltech figures that I bought in Tokyo in 2010 as well, and I'm a big fan of an anime called Trigun, and I had Vash the Stampede, a really cool Revoltech of him with like 5 or 6 faces, and like the Revoltechs were so much cheaper in Japan than they are here. Like I think I was getting them for about 23 quid, and when I was coming back here looking online, they were like 60 quid each.
Oh my god, they're like at least double that now, yeah.
It was like 2,300 yen, which was at the time it was a 1-to-1 conversion, so it was like 23 euros. So I bought an extra bag out there and checked an extra bag in and bought a bazillion Revoltech figures.
I would do the same if I ever got out there. Like,
Oh man, it's crazy. Like when you go into some of those stores, you're just like, and there was what I didn't find until the second last day I was there was a second-hand Revoltech shop. Which if I had seen that from day one, I would have, because like they were like even cheaper again. They were like 1,100 yen, and there were super rare ones, like super rare collectibles stuff. It was amazing.
what else have we? Isolation ideas. What have you been doing during isolation?
I've been doing a mix of things. I mean, with the film The Parish just coming out, I've had to do a lot of promotion work on that. But I've also been playing online a lot with yourself and Barry and Tubbs. We've been playing a lot of World War Z. It's been great crack. I played the crap out of the Resident Evil 3 remake. I've played like 20 odd hours of it now, just doing everything I possibly can. And I just started the Final Fantasy 7 remake, which, I mean, we can get into, but Final Fantasy 7 is like my favorite story ever, my favorite, like, not just game, like my favorite piece of media ever. So I have a Final Fantasy 7 tattoo on my back. I have a Final Fantasy 6 tattoo on my leg because I love 6 as well, just not quite as much as 7.
Not many people talk about 6, do they?
It's because it never got like that next remake.
Mainstream.
Yeah. And it's such a shame, like some of the stories and ideas in 6 are really good. It's just if people can't get past the pixel art look of it, they kind of don't give it a chance. But it's I'd love to see a remake of that. That would be so good. But yeah, and then outside of that, I'm working on post-production on another film that we shot over the Christmas. And I was doing a lot of writing before the quarantine. So as soon as quarantine happened, I was like, you know what? I've been writing for 3 months solid and been on lockdown myself anyway. So I'm going to actually take this to play some games and hang out with friends. It's weird that I'm hanging out with friends more during lockdown than I was before.
I know, right? So weird. What else? Okay, so this is something we ask everyone that comes on the show so far. All 4 of you. No, wait. Yeah, 4 of you. So 5 maybe. I don't know. But anyway. I know you don't have any at the moment, but if you could have one action figure, right, from any franchise that's ever been made of by any company, what would it be? Or
there's such a stupid one in my head. I wish it wasn't there.
Dude.
All I can think of now, all I can think of is if the line of G.I. Joe. So who makes that, Mattel or someone? Hasbro. A G.I. Joe Chris Redfield.
That would be fucking awesome.
For some reason, that's when you said it. I had all these ideas before we came on to talk, and then as soon as you said that, it was just like G.I. Joe Chris Redfield. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. No, yeah, that's probably actually.
So like a 4-inch one, yeah.
Oh so no, I was thinking. I was thinking the dolls, like the actual.
Oh right, like Action Man.
Sorry, I'm an idiot. There we go. I'm an idiot. Yeah, like not the G.I. Joes, yeah, the Action Man doll. That's why it was so ridiculous. The G.I. Joe one would actually be cool, so let's go with that. Yeah.
I've got the Action Man here at the moment, like. So.
I was never an Action Man guy, but for some reason I would definitely get a Chris Redfield one if there was one.
I would love a proper Resident Evil line, to be fair.
Yeah, same. I mean, as I say, those early ones I had, I mean, they weren't great. I mean, the Rebecca one was absolutely despicable. I think PJ still has his Rebecca one. It didn't look like her at all. I don't know what it looked like. The Jill one wasn't great. I just loved them because they were Resident Evil. I mean, Final Fantasies had a much better chance of it with the Play Arts line. That
they did their own in-house stuff, like.
Oh, like so. When I was at Tokyo Game Show, they had loads of that stuff there as well, but it was so expensive. It was like 220 quid for like Cloud on the motorbike and stuff. But like, if I had the money, if I would have a full collection of Final Fantasy, or I could just do like you did and go on and get some bootleg ones and see how crap they are.
It's worth a shot. Some of them actually aren't too bad. I have a bootleg Chucky up there and a bootleg Leatherface, and they're absolutely
line.
Yeah, NECA, yeah. And
I've wanted to build up some of those NECA ones. Like I've seen them and I've been like, because yet again, like I'm a big horror fan as well.
Yeah.
So, and again, I had all the movie Maniac figures. Do you remember Hollywood Empire?
Yeah.
That used to. I used to go in there.
Used to work there.
No way.
I Planet. I can't remember.
Got on really well with Andy, the guy that used to run for Hollywood Empire, and like I got all the movie Maniacs figures. Was obsessed with them. Like the Pinhead one was my favorite. But yeah, I love what NECA are doing with them.
They're excellent.
Have McFarlane Toys done a horror collection since Movie Maniacs, or was that their only?
No, they've lost that most of the big licenses.
Because that's one I wouldn't mind seeing again either, if I was being honest, is like a proper McFarlane line again, like a modern updated one.
They launched a Kickstarter for a new Spawn line, alright, during the weekend. Yeah. And they're doing DC as well at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I was always a fan of the McFarlane like models, like the McFarlane figures. So as I say, I think if I'd like to see like, 4 or 5 of the horror icons redone in that kind of Movie Maniac style again, but
yeah.
Modern.
With the thing at the back and all that, like.
Yeah. I used to. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this.
Yeah, what you like?
I had a mate who used to with the crow and his hands were out like that, the Movie Maniacs one, and he used to rest his joint on the crow's hands. Which I was just like, that's an amazing use of that figure.
Yeah.
I love my Candyman one. Actually, was my favorite of the Movie Maniacs. That was like the third. Season 3, we'll say, like, or run 3. It was the Candyman one was immaculate, like it was so good. Yeah, I wish I had any, but I have no collectibles anymore. I have a cool where is it? I have this cool line of it's not action figures, but it's pop culture related. They're playing cards, but they have really cool horror film character art on them.
Oh, that's really cool.
They have like Jigsaw, Sadako. What's his name from House of a Thousand Corpses? Yeah, Sid Haig. Yeah. I've often thought about getting a couple of these as tattoos because the artwork is amazing. Like, but yeah, hoping to get back into the collectibles once I'm back on my feet.
Awesome.
If the parent does really well, go buy it.
Yes. I was just about to say before you go, give yourself a big massive plug, and you just fucking nailed it. We'll fire away again anyway.
Yeah, I know. The Perished is available in North America, so that's the US and Canada. A lot of people have been saying it's available in the US. It's available in both. So if you're based in the US or Canada, you can pick it up on Amazon, iTunes, a bunch of other platforms, Vimeo. If you do check it out, please rate and review it because we're a small indie film company, and those actually help it rise up in the searches and stuff. So, but it's been amazing to see the film getting such a good reaction from so many people. Some people really haven't liked it. I always knew it was going to be that kind of film. It's mad divisive. It was always intended to be. It's a horror. To give a little bit about the film, it's an atmospheric horror about a girl who has an abortion. And when she comes back to Ireland, she's kind of shunned by everyone and made to feel incredibly guilty, and basically goes to take refuge in an old house. And what we find out is that old house is the site of an old Magdalene laundry, where it's basically below it is the remains of like hundreds of unwanted babies. So, yeah, it's kind of, I've heard people say it's like the Irish version of those Indian burial ground movies. And I was like, oh yeah, I suppose it is actually.
100% more babies.
Yeah, and it's Stephen Tuberty, who was on the show, plays the creature in it, and he did an incredible job. Some of the best reactions from the film have been about the creature. Courtney McKeown is the lead; she's amazing. Everyone that was in it was amazing. And Barry Fahey who's going to be coming on the show, was cinematographer, and Brian played the shopkeep who gives the backstory and exposition about the house, which every film needs that guy. And you played a disgruntled shopkeeper so well. Please tell me, did you have any experience going into the role?
I don't say.
But yeah, if you have the time and you have a couple of quid, I think it's $3.99 to rent and $7.99 to buy in the States. So check it out. It's worth watch.
Definitely check it out because it's fucking awesome. I've seen it myself. And yeah, it's worth a fucking watch. 100%.
Brian, was that the Irish premiere, wasn't it?
Yeah, up in Dublin, yeah.
Dublin. That was a great night. That was great. I was terrified before that screen.
And during it.
Yeah, the whole time actually, even after, yeah. But yeah, love what you're doing with this, Brian. I think you're doing a great job. Love the channel, have done since you started this. And yeah, keep up the amazing work, man.
Awesome. Thanks very much for coming on, dude.
No problemo.
Everybody, this has been Paddy Murphy. And yeah, drop him and subscribe and all his stuff. I'll drop his links in the description.
Oh, perfect. It's way handy if you just drop them below.
Yeah, exactly. Right below here. Right below my balls. But anyway.
I was going to say, wouldn't it be great if I went to stand up and I just had no pants on?
I bet everyone that I've interviewed has done that. But thanks very much, Paddy. And
Peace.
I'll be chatting to you in the real world later anyway.
Sure, we got World War Z tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, we'll have played it already because we're filming this on a Friday. Today's Friday, isn't it? Yeah. It should be gone up sometime Monday or Tuesday or something like that.
I've died loads of times in World War Z. Cool.
Yeah. So, thanks very much for coming on, man.
So that was my interview with writer, director, and friend Paddy Murphy. So make sure to check out all his stuff below in the description, and check out The Parish if you're in the US, and all the stuff that goes along with that. There's a trailer going to be here as well. And also subscribe to myself. There'll be plenty more pop culture reviews coming up, pop culture interviews coming up, as well as action figure reviews in the coming days. So I hope you're doing well. Stay safe and mind yourself, and see you soon. Bye.
Sarah! I just wanted everything to go back to normal. You brought shame on all of us. The mothers all came here, but the babies never left.
People talk about that place around here. It used to be one of those modern baby homes.
Sarah.
You just seem drawn to the darkness, away from the Lord. It felt so real. It feeds on Kel. First hers, then yours.